but I want to give you all an update on this Jacob Blake shooting. Of course, we know the civil unrest that has been taking place in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Well, the Wisconsin Attorney General, Josh Kaul, he said Jacob Blake had a knife in the car but would not clarify if responding officers knew about it. He said the knife was on the driver's side floorboard and he had no other weapons. The officer who shot Blake 7 times, his name is Rustin Shesky, and he's been on the police force there in Kenosha for 7 years. According to the release, a woman called police to report that her boyfriend was present and was not supposed to be on the premises. When an officer tries to arrest Blake, one of the officers deployed a taser to try to stop him. It didn't work. Blake then walks around to the driver's side of his vehicle, opening the door, and leaned forward, according to the report. Blake told police, and by the way, Blake did speak to police after being shot. He was still cognizant, which is unbelievable. Apparently, he told police he did have a knife. He admitted it in an interview following the shooting. It is unclear, though, whether responding officers knew Blake had a knife, and that is going to be listen, this is part of the investigation. There's still a lot of information that we need to find out. But now and that's the latest on that. Now I want to move on to what took place as far as a couple nights ago with the shooting of 2 protesters. The 17-year-old who
they were rioters. They were not protesters. Rioters.
Okay.
They were rioting.
Okay, so let me give the information on what took place, and then if it's your opinion that the 2 people who are dead were rioters, then we can talk about that. Kyle Rittenhouse is the 17-year-old, by the way, who does not even live in that city. He lives in another 15 minutes outside the city, 15 miles, excuse me. He was taken into custody in Illinois on suspicion of first-degree intentional homicide. Like I said, he lives about 15 miles outside of Kenosha. He is heard saying, "I just killed somebody," at one point during the rampage that erupted just before midnight. One victim was shot in the head, another in the chest. Third victim wounds not believed to be life-threatening. According to witness accounts and video footage, police let the young white man responsible for some or all of the shootings walk past them with a semi-automatic rifle over his shoulder. I've seen this video myself. It's crazy. As members of the crowd were yelling, "Arrest him, arrest him. He was the one that shot these people. Arrest him." And cops, for whatever reason, didn't even approach him. Cell phone video of at least 2 of the shootings that was posted online shows a young man with a rifle jogging down the middle of the street as a crowd and some police officers follow him. Someone in the crowd could be heard asking, "What did he do?" And another person responds that the man had shot someone. The man with the gun stumbles and falls. And as he's approached by people in the crowd, he fires 3 or 4 shots from a seated position, hitting at least 2 people, including one who falls over and another who stumbles away and cries, "Medic, medic." A witness, Julio Rosas, said that when the gunman stumbled and fell, 2 people jumped onto him, and there was a struggle for control of his rifle. At that point during the struggle, he just began to fire multiple rounds, and that dispersed people near him. The rifle was being jerked around in all directions while it was being fired, he said. In the cell phone footage, the gunman stands up and continues walking down the street, and that's the moment where I said police didn't stop him or approach him. Protester Devin Scott told the Chicago Tribune that he witnessed one of the shootings himself. He said, "We were all chanting Black Lives Matter at the gas station, and then we heard boom, boom, and I told my friend, that's not fireworks. And then this guy with the huge gun runs by us in the middle of the street and people are yelling, 'He shot someone, he shot someone.'" And we're learning a little bit more about this 17-year-old. In addition to his participation as a youth police cadet in Lake County, his social media post showed Rittenhouse was a staunch law enforcement supporter who had posted tributes to officers killed in the line of duty in Chicago and northern suburbs. Another social media account that appeared to belong to Rittenhouse.
Is that a bad thing?
I'm just trying to get through the story, man. I'm not giving you my opinion on it. Another social media account that appeared to belong to Rittenhouse suggests he was also a supporter of President Trump. The TikTok account with just 25 followers read Trump 2020 with the U.S. flag next to it. And bruh, I'm just trying to be famous. That's what he said. Bruh, I'm just trying to be famous. A third video, again, shows the team armed with a gun, strolling among what appeared to be uniformed police officers. And on Wednesday morning, a statement by the Kenosha Guard page read, "We are unaware if the armed citizen was answering the Kenosha Guard militia's call to arms." And it was even the Boogaloos that said, "He is not a part of our group. He is not a part of our group. He is not one of us." So again, he's behind bars right now. He's in a lot of trouble. But let's just go with the facts here. Whether it was self-defense or not, let's go with the facts. And the facts are as follows. He illegally had this firearm. That's illegal. There's no debate about it. He lawfully should not have owned this weapon or should have been using this weapon. That's 100%. What do we also know? There was a curfew. He was there, and yeah, you can make the argument, well, and none of them should have been there. Okay, sure, fine. He was breaking the law. He shouldn't have been there, period. Certainly not with a gun. He was breaking the law. Now, whether this was self-defense or not, What is wrong with some of you people? He shouldn't have been there. Period.
And neither should have they, Brian. Neither should have the 36-year-old lifetime sex offender that he killed.
So because you're allegedly a lifetime sex offender, you deserve to be murdered?
Or who threw a Molotov cocktail at him.
According to who? I haven't seen that video. I haven't seen any stories.
There's also a video that was just released that shows that he was being chased and shots were fired while he was being chased.
Okay.
This is before anything took place. This is right outside the auto shop.
Okay, well, all I'm saying is I haven't seen any of those stories. I don't know where you're getting that.
Anthony Huber, who actually who attacked him with a skateboard and tried to take his rifle, and he lost his life.
So you're defending this 17-year-old for being there.
Or the other person that was shot, who was a communist, who actually had a weapon, had a pistol himself, and was approaching.
Okay, well, if you show me
Kyle
evidence of that, if you show me evidence of that.
It's all out there, Brian.
Where? Where is there? Where? I haven't seen it. I've been studying.
Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not out there,
I did 8 hours of research on this stuff. I've
Okay.
seen every video that is out there, and I haven't seen anything to what you're speaking to. If it's there, I'll love to see it. I'll talk about it, but I haven't seen it. I'm just telling you I haven't seen it.
I promise you it is out there, Brian.
Okay, well.
And here's the deal. The Kenosha, Wisconsin police said, hey, Governor Evers, Wisconsin's governor, we need 750 National Guard troops based on what we think is going to happen tonight. He gave them 125. You had all these businesses that were unprotected, especially after what happened the 2 nights before. There was a car dealership that had 100 different cars with the windows broken into it.
So here's
if I was a business owner, if I owned that car dealership that Rittenhouse was outside of, I would be thankful for Rittenhouse. Now, should he have been there? Of course not. He's 17 years old. He shouldn't have had the gun. I agree with that. But we're going to find out that Rittenhouse acted in self-defense across the board. He is not going to get any time behind bars. Could he get a charge for his weapon? Could he get a charge for crossing state lines with a weapon? I could see that taking place. But he is not going to spend any significant amount of time behind bars, Brian.
Okay, so my opinion on that is very different.
Of course it is.
First of all, well, I don't know what that means, but...
well, it's usually different than mine, so it's not a surprise that it's different, therefore, to me.
Okay.
Of course it is.
So
that's exactly right.
He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have had the gun. He was breaking the law. So let's be very clear on that. That's number one. Number two, it is yet to be determined. We have no idea if it was self-defense or not. You can have your opinions, but I haven't seen anything to the contrary of that. So here's Kyle Rittenhouse himself. He was interviewed before this shooting, which is crazy. He was interviewed by the Daily Caller earlier in the night. This is like hours before this shooting happened. Have a listen to this.
What are you doing out here? Obviously, you're armed, and you're in front of this business we saw burning last night. So what's up?
So people are getting injured, and our job is to protect this business, and part of my job is to also help people. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle, because I need to protect myself, obviously. But I also have my med kit.
Okay, let me respond to that. First of all, it's not your job, you 17-year-old fool. It wasn't your job to be there and break the law. It wasn't your job to hold a gun. It was illegal for you to have that gun because you're 17 years old, you idiot.
Hey,
it was
Brian, don't insult the kid.
I will insult.
Don't insult a 17-year-old kid. Don't call him a fool. Don't call him an idiot.
Obviously, first of all, don't interrupt me. Can I just finish what I say?
He made a questionable decision. We understand that.
First of all,
but Brian, no one was there to protect these businesses.
As you would say,
and a lot of those businesses were black-owned. We're being destroyed in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Let me know when I can talk.
Of course you can talk.
Okay, can I finish my thought without you interrupting me?
Please don't call him names.
As you would say, please don't censor me. And
I'm
number
not censoring you.
He is an idiot, and I'm going to say it over and over again, whether that bothers you or not.
What 17-year-old?
If I can finish my thought.
What 17-year-old do you know that is not an idiot, Brian?
I'm not. I'm going to stop talking now. I'd like to get to our listeners who are waiting on hold. If you're going to continue to interrupt me, then I guess I'll stop talking. 702-257-5396. I appreciate all of you being on hold. I will say it very quickly. You are an idiot if you are a 17-year-old kid illegally holding a gun, hanging out in a volatile place like that after curfew. You are a moron. You are an idiot. He was a wannabe police officer who made stupid comments on social media. He thought he was in law enforcement, and he wasn't. He is a buffoon. And yes, thank you, Wayne Allen Kook, and he should be ashamed of himself, and so should his family. How the hell did he get his hands on that gun? That's how people get killed.